Can trumpets and trombone voicings overlap? Short answer, yes, definitely. But I'll show you some examples and tips on when it's best to do this. It mostly occurs in jazz big band music, but I found an example from Ravel's orchestration of pitches at an exhibition as well. So why would we have the trumpets and the trombones overlapping in the first place? It will often happen in big band music when you have a harmonized melody in the brass section and the melody is in the lower register. It's common to have all four trumpets playing in the harmonized passage to keep the same feel and intensity to the texture. As the trumpets get into their lower register, the trombones start to overlap with the trumpets as we don't want to voice the trombones too low, otherwise they'll sound muddy. Here's an example from Sammy Nestico's Queen Bee, played by the Count Basie Orchestra. On this G minor 7 we can see a typical big band trumpet and trombone voicing. The trumpets stack neatly above the trombones from the melody downwards. As the melody lowers, we can see some overlapping taking place. First, just the fourth trumpet and first trombone play the same pitch, and then on the lowest note of the phrase, the fourth trumpet plays the root note between the first and second trombones, and the third trumpet doubles the same pitch as the first trombone. There is the option of having the trumpets double with themselves, just as Sammy Nestico has done in the first two chords of the phrase. This works out well when the range of the melody forces the harmonized trumpets to play too low and out of their range. One reason for not just doubling more of the lower trumpets like this is that each player gets to continue their line, and it keeps the right amount of intensity to the voicing throughout the phrase. You can see this quite clearly in the example from Ravel's orchestration of The Great Gates of Kiev from Mussorgsky's Pitches at an Exhibition. Ravel maintains the octaves in the trumpets, thereby placing the lowest trumpet below the first trombone and on the same pitch as the second trombone. Let's have a look at a more advanced example before we try some voicings of our own. This passage is from Gil Evans's arrangement of New Rumba from the Miles Davis album Miles Ahead. There is trumpet and trombone overlapping throughout until the last note where there is a higher shot note. Gil Evans often places the trombones in this register. One of the important points for voicing overlapped chords like this is that the trombones are in a stronger register than the low trumpets. So it's important to make sure the trombone voicing is solid and contains the important notes of the chord. Typically, the important notes of the chord are the third and seventh, and the root. If there is no seventh, it will sometimes be the sixth. The trumpets can then fill in these same notes, or as we'll see Gil do here, add some more tensions. Let's look at this G minor 9. The trombones cover the root, third, fifth, and seventh. The trumpets have the melody, the fifth, the third, and the seventh, which is doubling the first trombone, and the third trumpet adds the ninth. For the C13, again we have the trombones covering the basics of the chord, root, seventh, and third, with a ninth nestled in between. The trumpets have the 13th on the melody, which isn't present in the trombones, and then double the third, ninth, and seventh, at the same pitches as the trombones. Okay, let's test this out with some voicings of our own. Here we have an A in the melody with a D minor 7 chord written. Let's say this is a passage where we have the trumpets and trombones playing in a harmonized thickened line texture. Well, let's add the root, third and seventh to the trombones, and the third and seventh to the trumpets. Now if we have 4 trombones, we could add a fifth to the voicing, or we could add a ninth. Let's add it in the trumpets too. Watch out if you have the trumpets muted and the trombones open, as the volume imbalance will be even greater. The trombones in this comfortable range will be too loud for low muted trumpets. And that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed that. Leave me any questions or comments down below. And if you'd like to support my work, you can visit my Ko-fi page or purchase my intermediate workbook. It's a 40-page collection of ideas and teachings that I've condensed from studying Gil and Bach over the years. It has heaps of exercises and examples of voicings, 5-part harmony, and how to harmonize passages in a soli type of texture. It even has the answers in the back. Peace.